Memory Lane Garage here. We have today our F-Head 134 Hurricane engine. This engine is a 1957 and came out of a Willy's Jeep. We talked about this in one of our other videos when we went to Edwardsville, Indiana to pick this engine up. We don't know too much about this engine other than it came out of an old Willy's Jeep. Supposedly it ran really well. Today we're going to start disassembling this engine and checking it out and taking it to a machine shop, going through our engine, and hopefully we can rebuild this back to basically brand new. We're at the point now, we got it here. We got some stuff we're going to take off of it. We're going to drain the oil and start disassembling it. We got the oil drained. We're going to take this fan off. That'll be sandblasted and repainted. Going ahead and remove the spark plugs so we don't break them and get them lodged in the block. A lot of times they'll have a lot of rust on them. These don't look like they have any rust at all. R45s. Those are fairly new plugs. Remove the manifold. That's our manifold. Still got part of the pipe where they cut it off. Set it out of the way. Alright, we're going to remove the valve cover. Glued down, I think. Yeah, it's got silicone on the bottom of it. We're taking the carburetor off. Come on, off her. We're going to go ahead and pull the water pump. Yuck. That thing's a mess. That's not going to be any good at all. We're going to go ahead and take the thermostat housing off now with the water pump out. That sucker's nasty. Oh. Well, these bolts are rusted in there. My other one, this sucker was stuck in there. I'm going to take this fuel pump off. These things are really cool. That right there, that's all glass. Kind of like what you see in an old tractor. Oh, something fell off. Probably a piece of dirt. Alright, that's the fuel pump. That's a pretty neat little thing. This lever here, the pumps basically goes up and down, pushes fluid through the pump into your engine, runs right there on your camshaft. Your camshaft's right there. I'm going to take this bolt off this oil filter. I want to see if there's any oil inside here. I'm going to eventually just unbolt this from the head. I don't want to make a mess. So I want to check this out and see how much oil is in here, if there's any at all. There is some oil in there. So your cartridge sits right down on top of this. My temperature sender, it's in there really tight. I'm going to take the whole thing out of the block. It is turning. There we go. And that's it right there. All right. Throw it down there. We're going to take this cover off. Our lifters are inside. Right there. That's what the cover looks like. That's going to be cleaned up, painted, if this engine's good. Let me move this light and you can maybe see a little better. Your push rods and your springs. That's where your fuel pump runs on that cam. Alright, so while I got you here, we'll kind of reflect what we done. So to recap what we did, my F-head 134 Hurricane engine that I got from Indiana. We drained the oil, pulled the spark plugs out, took the manifold out, the valve cover, carburetor, thermostat housing, water pump, fan and water pump all together out. Cover for the push rods, and dipstick tube. It's all out. So a lot of my parts are down here on the bottom. They're greasy, dirty. All this stuff's going to be cleaned up and painted up, and we'll have to reassemble this engine once we go through it. All new parts. We're going to have the engine checked out at the machine shop. My 56 Willy's Jeep, the engine for it is already at the machine shop. I want to speak with that a minute. So, we did pull the engine out of the Jeep, my 56 Blueberry, and it's at the machine shop. And we got a lot of video coverage of this Jeep being worked on. So, I picked up this engine as a spare engine. I have a use for it if I don't end up using it in Blueberry. But right now, that engine's up there at the machine shop getting checked out. If it turns out good, it'll go back in the Jeep, in the blue Jeep. If it doesn't, I'll have this engine to fall back on, and I'll have to pick up another one if I decide I want to do that project down the road. And these little engines are really cool. They're kind of really simple, and a lot of fun to work on. So this is our 1957 engine project that we're working on. We're going to continue to do some video coverage on it as we continue to finish disassembling this engine and assembling it, providing the block is still good. So that's what we're hoping for. So thank you for watching.